All right, so we're gonna wrap up with head coach Seb Hines. Seb officially regular season concluded.
Yeah,
Another record-setting game for this team. Officially, most wins in a season, most points in a season, and finished the year undefeated at home.
yeah.
Um, I guess holistically the game, but the season as a whole as well. Just how do you feel after this one and heading into the playoffs?
It was so important that we had a reaction after the last two games. Like you said there, it's an incredible season, not only to finish top of the table, but to set new records. 18 wins, 60 points. That was our motivator going into this game. A lot of talk has been in these last three games after winning the Shield. What are you playing for? And we put a big emphasis of finishing with the most points in NWSL history, the most wins in NWSL history, so we can ultimately take that record and make it difficult for anyone else to try and beat it. So I'm incredibly proud of the players, today's performance, and throughout the season also.
Awesome.
Seb, just having uh, Ali Watt on the field, being active in the first two goals, just how does her pace change games for you? Just to be able to have that outlet along with Barbara in games.
Yeah, like you said, it gives us another outlet. Something you can't teach is the pace, with both Ali and Barbara. I thought Ali was phenomenal in that first half, caused a lot of problems. She was unfortunate with the goal that got disallowed for offside early on. I thought that really set a tone for the rest of the game. But with Ali and for any player, it's that consistency. Can you have that product on the field, make it difficult for defenders? And I thought when she got a start and she got the game today, she made it difficult for the fullback for Seattle. And she has to consistently do that for every game, because when she does play at that level, it's very difficult to stop her.
Just talking about the good things. I know you're probably upset about the two goals you guys conceded. Just
You know me
from
so
your
well.
perspective, from your perspective, what did you feel kind of went wrong on those plays?
It's things that we can control. You're most vulnerable after you score, and so a level of concentration is so important. Being switched on, knowing that Seattle are going to do whatever they can to get themselves back into the game as quickly as possible. And it was a direct ball. We didn't deal with it. We didn't stop the cross. We allow a player to run in unopposed, and before you know it, the celebrations, the replays are going on, and you're back to 1-1. So we have to stop that. We can't allow teams to get back into the game. And also the second goal comes from a defensive throw-in that similar. We allow a ball to get into the box. She's open again, free header, and it goes into the back of the net. So these are things that we can control. It's concentration, and we'll review that going into next week's game.
Just kind of talking about the way Seattle played you, a lot of pressing in the back line, kind of forcing the usual movement in the back line a little bit quicker, a little bit trying to force those turnovers. How do you feel that kind of Seattle's game plan kind of tested you for how teams might play you in the playoffs?
So we've spoken about this a couple of times. Against Portland, we controlled the game. We had a lot of passes, but didn't really get an end product. Similar to Gotham, we had a lot more passes than them. And I don't want to be a team that just has possession. I don't want us just to try and get 500 passes a game without scoring goals and getting end product. We had moments today, we scored 3 goals, which is always difficult in this league. But we need to have more threats. We need to threaten their line. We need to get their defenders facing their own goal. We got a lot of corner kicks as well. So can we, get goals from set pieces as well? But there was some moments where we unlocked them. I think Marty's goal was tremendous. Em plays a great ball through a line. She turns, she dribbles, and she gets a great shot at goal. So there has to be a purpose to all this possession, all these passes, be unpredictable as well, and not just show to feet. We have to have a threat in behind. And when we do that, we can be so threatening with obviously the pace that we have, bringing Adriana on as well with her pace, Ali Watt on the right, Barbara as the 9. You know, that's dangerous speed up top with the likes of Marta, Summer, Hayley, Viv, Ange underneath, who are very good footballers in that midfield. So we have to be a little bit more unpredictable and try and play through different types of presses going forward.
Just kind of going off of that, with the pace that you have, Carrie was kind of talking about how, you know, playing the ball over top and letting players run in rather than just playing through the ground, especially when teams play with a higher line and try and, you know, force the ball into the midfield and, you know, send numbers forward. How much do you kind of want to see more of that just change up from your team? I know from first to second half, you kind of saw more of those balls over top, but being more proactive in those moments in the first half versus having to go into the locker room and kind of rework things.
Yeah, I mean, it's all like you said. We showed it at half time. These are the spaces that we can exploit going into the second half. But with teams' presses, you know, if they sit in a mid block, can you draw them out? Can you get the midfielders on the ball in those half spaces, central spaces, turning, facing forward, and still have a threat in behind? If a team wants a high pressers, then it might just be one direct ball in behind, like you saw with Ali Watt's first goal. So it's, again, playing what you see, playing what the opponent's giving you, and making those decisions in that moment.
We're going to go to Sandra Herrera on the Zoom.
Thanks so much. Congratulations, Coach Seb, on another record made tonight with the team. Ask Carrie a similar question about it. I know in off seasons and in preseasons, there's always discussions between coaching staffs and players about the motivating factors going into the season, whether that's personal individual goals for players or title and championships to chase. And throughout this season, Orlando has been, you know, quite magical, frankly, in setting record after record and records within records, right? Whether it's a win streak or undefeated streak. So tonight that includes another with the 60 points. How does that sort of maybe shift or change the trajectory of a coaching staff mentality, where it's no longer just about potential titles in front of you to chase after, but that there are historic records in front of you to obtain as well?
Yeah, I think we probably won't soak it all in until the end of this year. I've said from the start we'll take it game by game, and when we went on that unbeaten record and the winning record, it was the next game is the most important game, and we managed to achieve that. This is such a great group. We're very much aligned in all the goals that we've set out to do. You know, it's amazing to see the growth of this team and how far they've come over the course of 2.5 years to now being the number 1 team and setting all these records and getting a 60 point and 18 wins. You know, with all the great teams that have played in this league, you know, you're talking about one of the greatest teams also to play in this league. And so, yeah, we kind of have to shift gears now because all that hard work is in the past, and we're now going into tournament football, playoff football. And so our main focus now will be next Friday against, we don't know yet, but that will be our main focus, and hopefully we can continue this home streak all the way to a flight to Kansas.
And just sort of a note on kind of reset buttons that presented themselves. There was this international break, and maybe it was one that the club welcomed to try to sort of maybe get the momentum shift back in your favor. What's your evaluation of the response of the players coming out of that kind of reset in the international break, and now looking ahead to maybe a different type of reset button with the postseason beast?
Yeah, it's incredibly challenging. You never want to take away a player's opportunity to go represent their country. You look at some of the players who have done that this past week. You know, Anna Morehouse going away with England. Sitting on the bench at Wembley is a moment that she'll always remember. Angelina and Adri going away with Brazil and leading their nations by being the captains is an incredible achievement, and more so with Emily Sams as well, getting her first cap for the United States, something that we're very proud of. It's probably the first in Pride history where we've signed a player and she's developed and got her first cap rather than signing already, US international. So, yeah, incredible achievements. The challenges were that, they've been away with their national teams, and you've got a game at home just around the corner. So everything that you've worked on leading up to this game, they've missed out. You can do as much video as possible, but it always helps when they're on the field and getting the live play and getting the the strategies going into this game. And you could see there was a little bit of we're a little bit disjointed at times, but I'm just so proud of them and so happy that they're now walking away with 3 points and a well-deserved win.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anything else for Zeb?
Seb, just being able to close out the regular season at home, stay undefeated in front of the fans, just how much do you appreciate their, being out here, all 7,700 and something tonight, and then especially heading into playoffs to be able to have that support?
No, we love our fans. We appreciate our fans. You can see that they're coming out and supporting the team. The team are giving back to the fans with, the records that we spoke about, being undefeated at home, playing entertaining football, scoring goals. And we just want more. We want more fans coming out and supporting these incredible athletes who are giving absolutely everything. We need a good turnout on Friday. We need to see fans coming out and supporting, because this is the first time in Pride history that we're hosting a playoff game, and so that's an incredible achievement, and the players fully deserve the fans coming out and helping us get the win, and hopefully going into the following week with another home game in the semi-final that will lead us to Kansas later this month.